Howdy, my name is Blade, and yes, I am wearing the same outfit from my editing review because this outfit was too good to not have it be seen more than just that review, and also this is a very uncomfortable outfit. So if I'm gonna get up into the gig, I'm gonna stay in it. Today, I am basically going to be catching up with some movies that were released this year that I did not review on the channel, but I have watched, and I will be giving my thoughts on them. There's 12 films, so we're kind of lightning round it. I will expand upon them a little bit, but I don't want this video to be too long, so it's kind of going to be, you know, the ones that I have a bit more to say on, I'll say more, but most of them I'm probably just going to give like a really quick, just like these are my thoughts. That's that on that. I'm doing this just because, you know, I like to discuss film, and I'm sure there's a couple of them, you know, that I didn't get to fully review that I would like to talk about, and there's two of them in here that I did want to do full reviews on, but just life was too busy for me to, like, sit down and get to them. Also, you know, I do my Blade's Best in Show at the end of the year, so I view it kind of, you know, how as we watch award season play out, you can kind of see what's going to happen at the Oscars. I kind of view me doing the reviews as something similar. You kind of see what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and so you're not, like, when we get to Blade's Best in Show, it's not as much of, like, just surprise after surprise, you know? It's just for fun at the end of the day, you know? The order I'm going to be doing these in, at first I was like, should I do alphabetical? Should I do like my personal ranking? Like, or in the order that I watch them? And then I thought, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order these from how I rated them on Letterboxd from lowest to highest, and I'll put it on the screen. I just thought that'd be a fun way to do it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, film number 1. Opus from A24, starring Miss Ayo Edebiri. All I really have to say is this is a no. This is a no from me. You know, like I said in my editing review, I don't like to be super harshly critical of films, but this is a no from me, dog.
It's definitely a no from me, dog.
I think the writing in this film is severely lacking. I think the thesis was a really interesting thesis, but it does not do anything with it. It does not develop it enough. It has a great cast. All of their acting ability is really wasted in this film. I know for some people they really liked it. I was told I should get into it. Maybe the critics and people were wrong. Personally, I think they were right. I just don't think this film works. It's very undercooked. I like the 70s kind of retrofuturism aesthetic, but that's pretty much where my liking of this film ends. Yeah, this just did not work for me. Oh, I think I also wanted to say, I think the other thing that really bothered me about this film is I've seen this type of movie so many times and done way better. It's, you know, it's giving Blink Twice, it's giving, like, The Menu, it's giving, you know, there's a couple other ones I could put on screen, and those all did it better. So I'm just like, why did we need this? Next up, we have In the Lost Lands. Now, I don't know, like, what confusion I have with this film, because I thought it was coming out in November, and then I was on Hulu and it was just there. So I don't know, like, if I just missed the memo or like what, but In the Lost Lands, I was kind of excited for this. I wasn't like super highly anticipated, but I was excited because y'all know I'm a Mila Jovovich girly, and I also am a Paul W.S. Anderson girly. But, girl, this was bad, and I think I tried to give it a higher score just out of like love for the two of them, but it's a no. The story's just not all that compelling, and nothing's developed enough about like the world building. It also looks really ugly. Like 300 has a very similar look to this movie, but they executed a lot better, and it's a lot more interesting here. It just looks like I really don't want to be that critical, but it didn't work for me. The sad part is the premise was actually interesting. Like and some of the action parts, it kind of got me a little bit like, I was like, oh, and then the ending just no. The ending, some parts of the ending did kind of get me a little bit like, okay, maybe this is gonna turn it around for me, but it ultimately just, this was a no. This is also a no. Maybe like a passable watch, but no. Next up, we have Presence, which was the first movie I watched in theaters this year, and I was like really excited for it. It's a neon release. You know, I was really interested in the fact that it was like told from the perspective of the ghost. You know, like literally the camera is the ghost, And I think when I initially watched it, that gimmick and that cinematography element really did a lot for me, but I have since lowered it a lot in score because it's like fine, don't get me wrong, it's not like a bad movie, but I think the actual story itself is not that great beyond the gimmick, and I will give them the ending. I do think is interesting. Like on initial watch, you're like, oh, like okay, but then when you really sit with it, it's just kind of like, like so. It's fine. I think this movie's gonna really work for some people and really not work for others. But I will say the innovation for me of like telling it quite literally from the perspective of the ghost, I do think is really interesting and worthwhile if it sounds interesting to you, but otherwise you might be kind of bored. Next up, we have Love Me, which I actually was really excited for when I heard about it. You know, I love Kristen Stewart, and I thought the premise was interesting. I was like, okay, like it's about two robots. They're playing two robots communicating with each other. So initially going into the movie, I was sad. I was very interested. I was like, oh my god, like I was like, this is cute. This is really cute. I thought the little robot that Kristen plays really cute. I thought the little satellite that Stephen Young played was really cute. Like I was like, this is a really cutesy little story. And then it just it goes into some interesting places that I did not expect it to get into. Like, and I'm not mad at it. Like, I actually did kind of like it, and definitely more than some, but it doesn't 100% work for me. I think I'm not gonna spoil it, but like the plot device that it starts to utilize is a little quirky, and I think I like the risk. I just don't know how much of it paid off, but like I do personally kind of like it. I don't know. I think I've had time to think about it, and I'm still kind of like I don't know. But I if it sounds interesting to you and if you don't mind basically being subjected to the metaverse for like 45 minutes, then give it a watch. Otherwise, you'll be fine skipping it. But I'll say this, I like what it adds to the world of film. Don't really know how I feel about it as like the narrative aspects of it. Next up, we have one that I was planning to do an actual full sit down review for, so I'm going to expand my thoughts a little bit more. But I was filming Glimmer and stuff, so editing Glimmer and stuff, so I just didn't have the time. But that is Miss Megan 2.0. I'm someone, I know a lot of people don't care for, but I did like the original Megan. You know, it was a fun, silly time, so I was excited. And unlike other people, I actually liked that they took the Terminator 2 route. When I saw the trailer and they were going like more action, I was actually like, okay, like I'm into this. I know a lot of people wanted more of like a true horror, but I was interested. And I know this movie crashed and burned. This movie did not do well at the box office. It does not have good reviews. It's already on video on demand, but I'm here to stay. I kind of vibed. I'm sorry. Like I liked it. I don't think it's like a stellar movie. You know, I gave it a three. Three? Yeah, I gave it a three. I thought it was fine. I actually really liked the well, I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh, I liked the more sci-fi action element. I personally don't agree that I thought they were trying too hard to make her like iconic. I thought it was the same dialogue from the first movie, and I kind of like that they leaned more into it. I had a fun time with this. It's not like a great movie by any means, but I liked it. I'm into it. I'm a Megan stan personally. There's also this one random scene where the cinematography like just randomly they decided to like go off, and I was like, work. So yeah, I don't know. I vibe with it. You know, I'm not taking it too seriously, and I don't think it's something that needs to be taken that seriously. So yeah. Next up, we have Grafted, which is a little bit of a smaller release. It's on Shudder. It is a body horror. I think this is a good one. I think, you know, it's not untreaded territory. It's a body horror that's about, you know, that gets into commentary about like beauty and stuff like that. But I do think the angle is interesting. I don't think it's like it's not generic by any means. I think it's just a fun time. You know, it's nothing like it's not amazing, but it's not like bad. I think it's a good, fun time. I like the stylistic choices it makes. It's got good acting performances. I think it, I think it's a fun time. And if you're into body horror, you're into like those types of, like social commentaries like that, I think you'll have a fun time with it. All right, we've arrived at my other film that I really, really wanted to do a full video on, but I did not get to. But also, I'm kind of glad that maybe I didn't, because my opinions on this movie might go over a little interesting, and that is 28 Years Later. Because personally, okay, I gave it a 3.5. Now, personally, I still think a 3.5 is like good, but I think with, like, I touched upon this before, I think the weird climate we live in is if you give anything less than like a 5 or a 4, that means you're saying it's like not good or like not as good or whatever. I still think a 3 is good. It's like middle of the road. Like I'm still saying it's good, but unfortunately, there are some parts of 28 Years Later that don't work for me. I found the writing to be a little bit interesting because first of all, I felt like I was watching like 3 different movies. I feel like each act of the movie feels like a different movie, and also without spoiling, I think it's a really emotional story versus like a high horror, like high action vibe. It's a lot more emotional, it's a lot more family oriented, and I think my issue was I was supposed to feel a lot of emotional weight that I didn't, because they didn't develop enough of the story for me, and they didn't develop the characters enough. I think the writing, I think they made the mistake of assuming the premise of this family dynamic just existing was enough for me to feel the emotional weight of it. And I was like, no, we really gotta develop this. So that's my only gripe, really. Other than that, it's fine, it's good, it was interesting. I just left feeling kind of like, okay, I'm like, this is good, it's fine. The ending I liked. Like, I got really into it, and I'm interested in where we're gonna go from here, especially Jack. Should I say that? Never mind, that might be a spoiler. But yeah, where it leaves off, interested in that. Also, I think the world building was a little strange, was a little like somehow overdeveloped and underdeveloped at the same time. I wanted to know more about what was going on, but also, like, I don't know. Like, I just think the world building and the writing didn't totally work for me. And I will say the cinematography and the editing I loved. Like, I was really into that. That really ate down for me. But overall, I think it's good, not great. Would probably rank it either middle or last of the series. The first one is still my favorite. Alright, another movie that I didn't plan on doing a full sit down video for, but I did toy around with the idea of it, and that is Mickey 17. Another kind of politically charged movie, but I actually really liked what it had to say. I didn't think that's what the movie was going to be about. I didn't think it, which I don't know why, because it's by Bong Joon-ho. I don't know why I just assumed it was going to be kind of like an empty, fun little comedy time, but I like what it had to say. I'm not like head over heels for the movie. Okay, well, me personally, I am. Like, I personally really enjoyed it, but like if I'm reviewing it objectively as a movie, I don't think it's like a stellar movie, but it is good. Like, it is good. Like, I gave it a 3.5. I did really like it. I think Robert Pattinson is great. He plays a really quirky character, and for some reason it kind of works for me.
You need to relax. Marsha's handling it. She can convince anybody of anything. Oh my god.
But I think all the actors in this movie do a great job. I think Mark Ruffalo impersonating, if you know, I think he did a good job. It felt a little too real. But I think that's another thing I liked about this movie. It's very timely, and it wasn't even made during what the fuck is going on right now. So good on him for clocking that T. So yeah, I think it's a good fun time. It's very absurd. This movie is absurd. This movie is bizarre, but I think it's a fun, good time, and I would recommend. I know it's not going to work for everybody, but I would recommend it. You'll see if it works or not for you. Next up, we have The Monkey. Now, I think my biggest thing I have to say about this film is, this is an Oz Perkins film, and it is the least Oz Perkins film I've ever seen. Now, when I was watching it, I can see in the direction and some of the editing, how it is one of his films. Like there's motifs to his work that I didn't notice, but like tonally, this is such a different movie because The Black Coat's Daughter, Long Legs, like his films are really slow burn and like atmospheric, but this was like kind of fun and like colorful, zany, campy. And you know what, like, was it a super amazing movie? No, but like I had a good time, and I think part of that was low-key seeing him do something different. I enjoyed it. I think it was fun. The kills in it are like absurd and over the top, and it's just an overall good campy fun time. If you're into like good, just if you're down to clown and not take things too seriously, and you like kind of more campy, kind of like tongue-in-cheek horror, like I think you'll have a good time with this. I think Theo James did great in the lead role, and I think it's fun. Next up, we have The Ugly Stepsister, which I can't remember what festival this premiered at, but I heard about it through Dead Meat, and I was like, okay, like let me see. And let me tell you something. This is good. This is really good. I gave it a 4. This is really good. It's a Cinderella. It's a very twisted Cinderella story told from this perspective of one of the stepsisters. But oh my god, this movie, you want to talk grotesque. It's not like gore. It's definitely not like that gory. But there are some things in this movie. This is definitely like the things that movies don't usually show. This movie shows. Like you will be seeing Hole on today. And I'm not gonna spoil something that happens, but there is something very grotesque. I'll just include a little meme, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, I guess you'll just be shook when you watch it for yourself.
Ouch.
But this is a goodie. This is a goodie. If you're into, I wouldn't say body horror per se. It is a little bit body horror, but if you're into horror and beautiful, this movie looks beautiful and has some cool surrealism stuff going on. It's available on Shudder. I would recommend to watch if you're like a horror person, because you definitely have to be a horror person to like get up into this movie. Yeah, good. I would keep wanting to say gory, but it's not. Just good, in your face. Actually, you know what? No, I would say it's body horror. It's not body horror in like the way the thing is or the substance is, but there's some like body modifications, I guess I'll say, that take place that are a little like, I was like, oh, it's one of those. But good time. I think it's a good time. I think you should watch. Next up, we have One of Them. No, oh yeah, we have. Is it One of Them or One of Those? One of Them Days, produced by Issa Rae, starring Keke Palmer and SZA. And this is a good comedy. I was laughing. I think the particular flavor of comedy, it's a type of comedy we haven't got in a while. Yeah, honestly, I don't want to keep it super short, but like really that's all I have to say. It's a good, fun comedy. SZA's acting chops and comedic timing really surprised me. I love Keke Palmer. Their press tour for this movie has produced one of my favorite clips/memes ever.
You have got to save space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
From Wicked?
From Wicked. It makes me feel like you can't stop me. No one is going to bring me down. That's a slave hymn. And that's that. Come on. When she got up there, she told those people. Oh, it is really good.
A slave hymn is so...
Y'all know I ain't lying.
So I think this is a fun time, and I definitely recommend. I would say this is my favorite comedy I've seen of the year so far. All right, last but not least, I bet you did not see this coming as the highest rated out of everything, but that's just how the cookie crumbled. We have Something Beautiful, which is the music film accompanying Miley Cyrus's album Something Beautiful, and oh my god, the cinematography in this music film and the editing, holy shit. There were so many moments that had me like I wish I could have seen this in the theater, because I was in my room by myself like, work, like this is like that. so much of it just looks beautiful, and also the fashion, oh my god, and some of the little choreography touches in, like, this was great. And this also understood exactly what it needed to be. It wasn't doing too much. Like, it was a music film, it was an album, it was a visual album. They weren't trying to do too much with like a plot or anything. It literally was visuals for the music, and like that was that on that. It looked great. She looked great. The editing was great. Like, oh my god, it was beautiful. It was something beautiful. It was everything. Love the Pretend You're God sequence, which is my favorite song on the album too. And then also my other favorite song on the album, Reborn, also has a YouTube doesn't like that word, so I had to bleep it, but has a See You Next Tuesday sequence. So overall, Miley ate that. The whole team ate that. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So yeah, that is me catching up on all of the other movies that I've watched and didn't do a dedicated like review to. You know, that's too many movies to review. I'm particular about which ones I do videos for. I will probably do this again in December, maybe January, just, you know, catch up with other things that in the coming time that I don't get to. But I imagine a lot of the films that are on the horizon are gonna get reviews because they're movies that I'm interested in, and they're also movies that are probably, you know, we're entering the time where movies that are getting pushed for award season start to roll out. You know, we're getting Sorry Baby, we're getting After the Hunt, Die My Love, like all Sentimental Value, I think. So, you know, a lot of those I'll be covering. So yeah, that's me catching up on all these movies, and I think all I really have left to say is doesn't it feel a little muggy in here?
It's so muggy out here.
But anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. God, this is so itchy. But I look so good. Oh, like, get into it.